We started this three-part series with the Indigenous New Year, commonly referred to as Matariki in Aotearoa. The New Year being signalled by the sun, moon and stars. Now we'll delve deeper into the re-indigenization of time itself. Before we moved indoors, in the sky was our calendar, our clock, and our storyscape rich with tales of our ancestors who've become stars. The sun is our main light. We revolve around him along with the other planets in our solar system. He is part of Te Whānau Marama, the family of light, and is called Tamanui Te Rā. In Māori, Te Rā translates to the sun or day. The sun is personified as Tamanui Te Rā, meaning great sun, S-O-N, of the sun, S-U-N, great sun of the sun. Māori interpreted the changing position of the rising and setting sun as a man moving between two wives. The sun, Tamanui Te Rā, is said to have married both Hine Takurua, the winter maiden, and Hine Raumati, the summer maiden. Hine Takurua is the star Sirius, seen on the eastern horizon in the month of Pipiri before the sun rises, denoting the winter season. Hence the word Takurua means winter. Hine Raumati is said to inhabit the earth and is personified in the warm soil that supports the productivity of the gardens in summer. Subsequently, Raumati means summer. In the winter, the sun rises in the morning with Hine Takurua. His stay in the sky is brief at this time, and he fails to warm the earth to any great extent. In this season, the sun is far from the earth, spending time with his winter wife and their children. Then during winter solstice, Matariki rises in the morning just north of the sun, signalling to this great being that he has stayed long enough with his winter wife, and it is now time to return east, back to Hine Raumati and their children. The point where the sun turns to journey back to the east is known by Māori as Te Takanga o Te Rā, the turning place of the sun. This phrase can be used to describe both the winter and summer solstice, the time when the sun stands still. After Te Takanga o Te Rā, the sun rises more easterly every morning, and the days become longer and warmer, bringing the earth the bounty of spring and summer. And so, Tamanui Te Rā, the sun, is a main marker of the seasons. The position of stars in conjunction to the rising and setting of the sun was also observed by Māori, but it was the lunar calendar and not the solar calendar that guided the year. It is important to note that the different names for the Māori months are actually stars, and their heliacal rising in conjunction with the new moon denotes the beginning of the month. The stars of the southern hemisphere were and are used as stellar signposts, and so denote what month we are in. For example, the month of Pipiri that occurs around June every year is so called for the two Pipiri stars in the Aries constellation that are visible on the eastern horizon before Tamanui Te Rā rises. I will cover this more in depth in the third and final video of this series. Maramataka, the turning of the moon, revolving of the moon's revolution. This is the name of the Māori lunar calendar. The Maramataka varies across the country from tribe to tribe, and whether it starts at the new moon or the full moon also differs. One such example is that shared by Wiremu Tāwhai. His tribe starts the month from the full moon. When I read this, it suddenly occurred to me, of course, this would be a very hands-on way of starting the month. He tells the story of how his ancestors would go out during the full of the moon, which, if you go out and actually look at the moon during the full moon phase, you'll notice that it looks really full around about 3 nights in a row. So which of those 3 nights is the full moon would be, or would have been, the question. Wiremu's ancestors would go out to the shoreline, and when the moon was full, they would put a peg into the ground to mark where the fullest extent of the tide coming in reached. They would do the same the following night, and then the same the following night. And they would know which was the full moon of those 3 based on the marker that was the furthest out, i.e. where the tide was the fullest. And this is how they measured the full moon. I thought that story was brilliant because it gives us a way to measure the full moon with no need to rely on technology to tell us. We can use our lived experience of being here on Earth and using the moon as our guide along with the water. And just like the waters, our own ebb and flow moves with the moon. Every moon has a name in the Māori lunar calendar. The names can differ tribe to tribe. The Maramataka is a very local reference. So the names of the moons, while they may have a lot of similarities, there will be differences also from tribe to tribe and region to region. The amount of moons in the month will also differ and ranges from 28 days up to 32 days. Here I have used a 30-day version. Each month has a rhythm. Every day of the month has a name, energy signature, and related task or activity. There are also days that recognize the environment and are days to give back to the land, give back to the skies, and give back to the water. Giving back to the soil may be that you plant a tree. giving back to the heavens. Maybe that you offer up a prayer of gratitude. Giving back to the water, maybe doing an ocean cleanup activity. Instead of the days of the week being a 7-day week across 4 weeks or thereabouts to comprise a month, every night has a moon name, an energy signature, and a related task or activity that the conditions are good for. Māori lunar calendar is a real system for living. It's not just a timekeeping mechanism, it's a system for living. These are more universal activities, but the detail will go into crops, fishing conditions, and very specific to the local area. One day of the month will be highlighted as being the best to go out and get crayfish because it will be really abundant. This system of living lives in tune with the movement of the earth, sun, moon, and stars. If you're interested in learning more about Maramataka and living by the moon, here are some resources that you may want to check out. There's an excellent book called Living by the Moon. Wiremu goes through all 30 days and does a bit of storytelling. It's a great book. It's a very easy read and also very informative, like the information I shared about how the full moon is established in a very hands-on, lived experience way. Wawata is the second book listed here by Hinimoa Elder. And she goes through each moon day, again, storytelling. There's a story for every moon in this book, where she shares what the energy of that moon is. And you can read along during the month to follow the flow and rhythm of Wawata, which is moon dreaming. And to go with that Wawata book, she has also put out a journal called Waitohu, a journal planner. She's got like a little bit of narrative for each moon day, and you can record your own experiences of each day and then come back around and do the month again, where you can reflect on your last month's experience. It's a great way of like a cyclical journal that you repeat every month and reflect on your previous month's entries as you go. And then lastly, there is an app called Ao Marama, which is awesome. It gives you the name of the moon day and also reflection for you, like the recommended activities and reflections for each day according to the moon that is of that day. I really hope you got something from this, and as I said, this is the second in a series of 3. The next and last installment will be focused on the Indigenous zodiac of Aotearoa, New Zealand, and I will cover there the Māori names for each month and how those names are derived. That's it for this one. Bye for now. With so much love from my heart's light to yours.